We definitely have an amazing journey for you here with our excellent guest who has joined us, who has made an amazing, as we say, transformation instead of transformation here. He has had so many health improvements since he went into this plant based lifestyle, as well as mentally and spiritually. And I think that is one of the things that amazed me the most in my own journey is it's so many bonus things that you can get attached to this. And he actually has a group that he admins, and he's health coaching now, and he has really made this excellent turnaround. I don't want to ruin the story. I could talk forever. I've been watching all of your videos, and I love the message and the positivity you put out. So welcome our guest, Mr. Lawrence Richardson. Thank you so much for joining. How are you today?
Bill, wonderful. Thank you so much for having me on your platform. I'm looking forward to sharing my testimony.
Oh, I'm really excited to hear it. So, how long ago did this happen? Like, had you ever thought about being plant-based in your life, or is this a
Yeah,
new thing for you?
absolutely. So I thought about being plant-based most of my life. I've been inspired by people I've seen on YouTube, and at times I've done eating raw or doing juice fast throughout my lifetime in order to kind of
There you go.
keep. Is everything good now?
Yes, it froze up on me for a second. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. So yes, early in my life, I'll say in my 30s, I kind of dibbled and dabbled with it a little bit and wanted to try it for myself just to see how I'd feel. I know I've seen individuals online who had great testimonies of what the plant-based lifestyle would do for them. But really, how I got into the plant-based was based on my doctor's recommendation. And I'll kind of share my testimony with you. So basically, most of my life, I've had ups and downs regarding health. I've struggled with sleep apnea, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes. Growing up, I also ate the standard American diet, which contributed to my unhealthy lifestyle. In my early 30s, my doctor made me aware that I had type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, and high blood pressure. So I decided to do a 60-day juice fast based on YouTube videos I was inspired by. I made it all the way to 55 days, and I lost an amazing 50 pounds. I felt amazing after that juice fast was complete. After the juice fast, I ate primarily raw fruits and vegetables. About 1 year later, I decided to get into bodybuilding and started eating meat and animal products, unfortunately. So, for about 4 years of bodybuilding, I've trained hard, lost a lot of weight, but struggled with a restrictive diet. After my bodybuilding competitions, I would go off on my diet and binge on junk food. I would gain so much unhealthy weight after my bodybuilding competition shows, and it mentally devastated me. This cycle repeated for 4 years. My relationship with food was very unhealthy. I decided to stop competing in bodybuilding shows because it was so restrictive and I felt like it wasn't helping my long term health goals. So let's fast forward a little bit. 12 months ago, I had an annual physical, and my doctor told me that my type 2 diabetes and cholesterol and blood pressure were still out of control. I was put on 3 medication and advised to go on a plant based diet. So I followed my doctor's advice. I did my research, and I was able to incorporate physical fitness and lose a total of 50 plus pounds over this period of time. And one of the biggest blessings as a result of adopting this plant based lifestyle and incorporating exercise was I was able to get off all 3 of my medications, and I'm currently thriving.
Oh, that is wonderful. And I am so excited whenever I hear people say that they can get off of their medications because I know, like, I've watched, a lot of people I know in my family not only suffer from these chronic illnesses, but then there are side effects to the medication that they
Mhm.
deal with as well. So it kind of like adds on to it. And you see on like, on the TV at night now, it's especially noticeable to me all of the drug pharmaceutical commercials that have the people in their, I say this all the time, but they're laughing and dancing, with their
Yes.
grandkids, and then they're reading 20 different side effects of the medication that was for something else. And so, what did you think, like, when you were told this by the doc? I mean, it's good that the doctor actually recommended a plant-based diet to you, and the fact that you had already kind of explored that before. What was your biggest challenge when you know, initially went plant-based?
Sure. So when my doctor originally told me that I needed to go plant based because of my health issues, it was very scary. I was in my early 40s, and life isn't always promised to individuals when they don't take care of themselves. So honestly, my why for jumping into this lifestyle was, my health, and then secondarily, it was my family. I have two small kids and a beautiful wife, and they rely on me to take care of them, right? And so initially, I really didn't have any struggles because my why was so strong. I initially jumped in, I did my research, I determined what I was supposed to eat to live a healthy and thriving life. And I decided at that point in time that I wouldn't waver from the advice from the doctor, and I would stick to this lifestyle in order to efficiently get healthy as quick as possible. And so, to answer your question, originally, I think early in my lifetime, I didn't have a strong why because I had a strong why at this period of time because I wanted to get healthy as soon as possible. Like I said, I just dove into it head first and took full control and full action and full responsibility for my health.
Oh, that is wonderful. And like, I feel like for me, I did the same thing. I initially just went all into it. And I know there are people who say that, maybe transition to from one meat meal a week and down to, have a couple of plant-based meals, or maybe go raw till 4 and then try your regular meals for dinner and things like that. And like, I honestly truly believe that for me, I experienced such quick health issues because I just eliminated all the animal products. But like, like you said, we're brought up to believe that we need those things. So it's almost hard psychologically to, if you're half in, I feel like if I had continued to maybe try to slowly move into it, I would have just slowly moved back into my old way of thinking and eating. So I definitely think that going all in was right for me. I know there are people who may disagree, but I tend to think it, especially if you have health issues to clear up,
Mhm.
like, how long did that take for you? You may have mentioned it. I was having a bit of a sound issue. Like, how long from the moment you began that plant-based journey
Mhm.
until you started to see results of your health issues clearing up and your medications reducing?
Absolutely. So about 3 months later, I went back in for blood work to look at my A1C and blood glucose and cholesterol levels and blood pressure. Immediately, I saw a significant difference in my A1C numbers, and my cholesterol had dropped honestly over 100 and probably 30 something points. My cholesterol was pretty high up there, and so I was at the point where I was a high glucose level of maybe, if I can remember correctly, 8.7. It went down to like the maybe low 6.1 range or whatnot. So about 3 months later, I saw significant differences. And then I was also checking my glucose on a daily basis using my glucose meter. And I was seeing that my fasted sugar was in the range of 120 or lower. And then, of course, on days when I exercise in the evenings and I would check my sugar levels, it would be sometimes as low as between 70 and 80. And so I really noticed within the first 3 months significant differences by adopting the plant-based lifestyle.
That's 3 months. That is seems to be like a pretty standard, amount of time, because I talk to a lot of people, and this is one of the reasons I love putting these stories out there, because I think sometimes we feel like we're destined to health issues, and you're like living proof. Especially a lot of people just think, I have type 2 diabetes and I have to get on medication, and it's just that progression forever. And
Mhm.
like, you're living proof that that can change. And like, so when you went into the plant-based, I assume, like, I know there's different ways to do the diet.
Mhm.
That you can do it, not that you should, right? But
Mhm.
so you are a whole food plant based. And is it also, do you do, like, you don't use the oils and sugars and things like that too, right? No, do
So I don't use the oils, sugars, or salt just because I feel like with salt is very addictive, and it's also bad for you as well if you don't use it in moderation. So I exclude the oils, the salts, and the sugars just so that I can be as healthy as possible and live the best life.
And you mentioned that when you went back into bodybuilding, you started to eat meat, and I think that's a common, you know, I guess misconception. Now I know because I thought the same thing. I thought when I exercised, I need the protein myth, right? Like we need
Yes.
all this meat and dairy, but even as a woman, but I can imagine men even deal with, if you're trying to build muscle, it's kind of like that is a very hidden thing. And Jeff Palmer, who I've had on the show, is also like a bodybuilder, and I'm
Mhm.
looking at you and I'm like, okay, you've been whole food plant based for how long without meat, and you obviously have muscles and you're,
Yes.
not looking frail. So I'm like, you must be getting the right amount of protein somewhere. Can you explain how that works, and like explain to people kind of what that misconception is, like what you normally eat?
Absolutely. So when I was bodybuilding, I thought, yes, you can only gain muscle by eating meat products or meat in general. But it was when I started doing research on how to build muscle in a plant-based lifestyle is when I discovered what food options would aid or assist with helping you preserve muscle or gain muscle. And so I would eat items like chickpeas, lentils, quinoa, kale, and just items like that. And a lot of fruit in general. But what I did originally, after I lost a bunch of weight in this lifestyle, I started counting my calories and my macronutrients. And so, macronutrients are your fats, your carbohydrates, your proteins. And the ratio I would eat would be like 60% carbohydrates, 20% fats, and 20% proteins. And I would just divide my meals up 5 meals a day, essentially, where my first couple of meals would be fruit smoothies, and then my next 3 meals would be a large salad based with kale, and I'd use either chickpeas, lentils, and add quinoa into it because chickpeas, lentils, and quinoa have a lot of protein in it and a lot of vitamins and amino acids and things like that. And so that enabled me to keep building muscle while living an active lifestyle and thrive with great health, essentially. So those are the things I was eating, living the whole plant based diet.
And a lot of people think, okay, how in the world can something taste good? And I know because I do the same, type of diet.
Mhm.
How can it taste good without salt, oil, and sugar, right? Because I feel like our taste buds really do change if you give them a chance to. We don't realize how salty the food that we're getting put out in front of us most of the time, with
Mhm.
when you eat processed foods and things, like, just to make sure that we tell everyone too, your food tastes really good. Like, you enjoy what you're eating,
Oh
right?
yeah,
You're not eating anything bland, right?
not at all.
What would be a typical like dinner for, you or you and your family to?
Sure. So dinner for me, see my family, to be honest, they're not plant based, but they do eat plant based options from time to time. But for me, it would be really just a large salad. I probably put several handfuls of kale and lettuce and leafy greens in a big old bowl, and then I top it off with some maybe chickpea curry, some quinoa, put some sprouts in there, chop up some avocado, um, and usually whatever other vegetables I might want. It might be some onions, peppers. Those really add a lot of taste, and I think the more color and the more variety, the more delicious and the more nutritious it is for you. So I tend to eat a big salad for dinner.
I saw this post yesterday on Facebook. I can't remember who shared it, or one of the social media, and they
Mhm.
said when regular people, non-vegans, have a salad, and it's this little plate of like lettuce and two cucumbers, like you get in the restaurants, and then it said when vegans eat a salad, and it was huge, and it had all kinds of chickpeas, and I love those too. And
Mhm.
with me, being raw, I feel like I need to. Sometimes I like to gain weight, and especially I
Mhm.
am doing a little more cooked food this month because of just the holidays and things. A little
Right.
more whole food, plant based, right? And I'm like, chickpeas are such a great source of fat. I heard you mention them a couple times, or protein and fat, and they are filling, and they're great to
Right.
add to a salad. I don't think people think about putting beans on a salad.
For
So,
sure.
when you also mentioned that you went into this lifestyle and you felt different, like emotionally, because I don't think people really realize there's a difference there. Not only obviously your health improved, you're off the medications, you look like you're in great shape. And what was that like for you? Like what actually changed mentally for you in that time?
Yeah, mentally, I had a lot more clarity. I think eating a standard American diet, it really doesn't allow you to reach your full potential, in my opinion. It also kind of gives you brain fog. You kind of go day in and day out, kind of going through this cycle of, I'll call it mediocrity. And I feel like when I started to eat a plant based diet, I started to thrive and excel in more things in life. I had more mental clarity on the direction I wanted to go with my life. And I really feel like it makes you emotionally just more grateful for things in life. I feel like sometimes when you are kind of going through a rut or eating a certain diet that doesn't give you a lot of vitality, you're not always thankful for the things that you have. But I feel like now in my life, I'm more thankful for the small things I have, the little things I have. And I really feel like your health is your wealth. And entertaining this diet and living this lifestyle, I think emotionally it puts me in a lot better place and sets me up for success with my thoughts and my emotions in general.
I was looking at one of your videos and you mentioned like how sometimes, especially like during this time of year, your wife will help you with your health goals too. And I assume that she was probably worried about your health. So
Yeah.
what is that like with the family dynamic? Like you mentioned you have kids too. Like
Mhm.
is it are you the role model where they're beginning to convert to your lifestyle eating plant-based options, or is it pretty much you keep your meals separate? Like if I've had to before too in my house where I'm like, and I'm happy with it, like I don't have a problem whatever they're eating, but how does that work out
I
socially for
definitely, I definitely feel like I'm their role model. My kids ask me a lot of questions, and they see me chopping up fruit and eating it often, and so they'll be eating one thing, and they'll see what daddy's chopping up apples or eating berries, and they'll come and grab my food, or that my wife, she'll see me and she'll say my skin's glowing or I'm looking a certain way, and I think she'll gravitate more toward some of the options I'm eating versus some of the options she's on an everyday basis. And so I feel like my good habits, my lifestyle is rubbing off on them, and it's a testimony that if you eat a certain way, you can feel a certain way and thrive and live a happy lifestyle.
I think that's definitely the way that, this lifestyle can be promoted in a positive way without pushing other people to do it, because people have to be ready, like you said, in their own time. And there are things in my life I've put off, and like you said, once you start looking your best and they see your attitude change, it's like, wait, I
Mhm.
kind of want to do what you're doing, right?
Yes.
Well, that is excellent. And how long has this been? Like how long have you been doing this now?
Yeah, it's been about 1 year. So I started November
Oh,
of last year, and I just had my 1 year anniversary, which is pretty cool. I've never been able to live a lifestyle um, and just thrive on it as long as I have. I've done little diets here or there. I've done bodybuilding where I competed for like 9 months and then fell off the wagon completely. But this is so awesome to be able to experience longevity and sustainability with this lifestyle. It gives me a lot of confidence that I'll be able to sustain this for a lifetime. And so I'm encouraged by the first year in this lifestyle.
because also there's so many options. People don't realize you have different options to eat different things. It's
Mhm.
not like it's as restrictive. Like for me, like you said, I tried throughout life, always up and down. Like you can see
Mhm.
on social media pictures, oh, that must have been when she was on a diet that time, and then back up and then down. But this one is the only one, same with me, that I've been able to sustain, I think, because it is literally giving you all the nutrients and you don't have to like eat certain portions. Like that's what always kind of pushed me away from
Mhm.
diets. You can eat as much really as you want because all the food has such low, calories in it that you can you could eat until you're full and feel satisfied. It's always hard when you're on a diet and the rest of the table is eating their, let's say their meat and things, and they're, filling up, and you don't have to just eat one leaf of lettuce. It's like you said, there's beans, there's rice. If you do sweet potatoes, you can do that. There's also so many fruits are very filling. So, you know, it is it's definitely a miracle that people can have good food, heal themselves.
Mm.
So, what made you shift from? Because I assume, I think I heard you interviewed on, I think it was Ed's channel, and you mentioned that your primary job is not being a health coach or a bodybuilder, which I had assumed you were like a personal trainer at first when I saw the interview coming on. So, what made you shift into? Because I see you're doing such great work online. What made you want to start the Facebook group and things like that?
Sure. Yeah. So I'd say about January of this year, I was in a group for, vegans or that lifestyle. And I was participating in fruit fasts and things like that. I was just so inspired by the team environment, the support, the engagement within the group. And I was thriving. And my health was getting better, and I was meeting like-minded people and meeting friends. And I was just like, this feels like something I've always wanted to do, is be a part of a group. And I've always kind of like dibbled and dabbled in fitness, and always wanted to be healthy when it came to like bodybuilding and stuff like that. And I was just like, I really want to start my own group, because I feel so compelled that this is the lifestyle I want to do for a lifetime. And I feel like I could help so many other individuals adopt this lifestyle with my success, my experience with my transformation. And so that was primarily the reason why I wanted to start a group for accountability, start a group for education, start a group for motivation, to inspire and really hold people's hand and keep them accountable in this lifestyle, to help see them through the other side, so they can also thrive and live a healthy lifestyle as well.
That is awesome, because it's like I think a lot of people want to do it and they just don't know how and don't know where to start. So the more, like people we have like you that are kind of using their own experience as a guide, because you've done it. And I think, there are people who've been lifelong vegans and things like that. But for me, I know I was not until I was 42 did I kind of come across all of this. So I think it helps you to be able to identify with people, especially, younger men, likely are probably looking up to you, who want to be, strong, and they don't think that they can, do that with being healthy, because I just hear a lot of stories of people who try to bulk up and they're eating very unhealthy,
Yes.
things. What do you feel like is your, do you have, how's your group growing since January? Do you have a lot of members?
Yeah. So right now, I just converted over to a subscription-based model, and right now it's a growing group. And so, yeah, I like to really just, for everybody watching, like to give a special invitation to join the Leaf Life Transformations Vegan and Fitness Accountability private Facebook group. This group was established with the purpose to give the members premium accountability, coaching, educational, and plant-based and fitness lifestyle. It's a group of close, like-minded individuals, and within this group, we do weekly accountability check-ins. We do Q&As. We do a lot of videos on education, and as I mentioned, it is a subscription base, and for a limited time, doing a membership discount of 75%, where the cost will be basically $7.49 a month. And it's just a small commitment to help you level up your health and be within a group of like-minded individuals who are going to support you along your journey.
Wow, that is excellent, because even those, that's something we can all afford, even in this time of year. So I know everyone's appreciative of you giving it that huge discounted rate, because you can't even join a gym for that amount, and you're getting all the personal, accountability. I think is a huge thing, to have people that are doing it with you, because a lot of people, everyone's family is not always on the same page as them. And I think your YouTube is Leaf Life with Lawrence, right? I
Correct.
love that name. How did you come up with that name? Was that something you just kind of thought of, or?
Yeah, it is. Because a lot of my diet is like leafy greens and vegetables. I wanted the name to kind of represent me and my lifestyle. And so Leaf Life with Lawrence is just my transition. This is my lifestyle. And so I put my lifestyle out there as a testimony to show people that you can accomplish anything you want to, whether it be health, whether it's your fitness, whether it's your mindset. Let me show you how to do it, and let me, walk this journey with me. And so that's where I come up with Leaf Life with Lawrence.
Oh, that is really cool. And I noticed on YouTube too, which has the same name. All these links are in the description, by the way. You have a like videos where you'll answer questions too, which I found
Mhm.
really cool. I've even felt like that a couple of the questions that people asked were really helpful to me, because one recently was, how do we stay, since this is timely with the holidays coming up, how do we stay accountable? So I remember, if you guys get a chance, watch that one. I love the answer, to that. And I think one of your biggest messages, like you said, is to let people know they can do it, and it's not so far out of reach, but they do need support. And I think that's certainly one of the things over time that's helped me, is being in these groups with like-minded people, because it's easy for your friends sometimes, and family even, that aren't quite on the same page to pull you, in their direction, or it's easy to just go along with the crowd sometimes. What do you go live in the Facebook group too, or do you share your YouTubes over to there? Like, what do they expect to see over there?
Yeah. So usually on Saturdays, I put a question out to get everybody's questions, what they need help with their fitness and nutrition, and then usually I gather all those questions and I answer it within a Q&A video, and that video comes out every Friday within the group. So I post it on YouTube, and then I post that within my private group for all the individuals to go see their answers to their questions.
Oh, that's cool. So I clicked on it. You just click on the link and it brings you, it's really easy to sign up too. So it doesn't, you don't put you through a bunch of different things, and it's pretty, open. And do you find that you have a lot of people who are not yet plant-based that come in just to learn?
Sure, yes. So this group is for everyone. It's not just for people who are plant-based, it's for people who are transitioning or people who are still meat eaters. We don't discriminate against anyone. Sometimes it takes time for people to transition into this lifestyle. And so, if you aren't plant-based yet, don't be afraid to join us. We want to enable you with the tools and the skills and support to thrive on this lifestyle if that's what you so choose.
And I know a lot of people, they think, oh, well, it's really hard, or it's really expensive. And I think if you listen to what you eat, and 90% of what a lot of us eat, especially if you do it the healthy way and you don't buy a bunch of processed, of the meats and things like that, I feel like you can also do this really economically. So I mean, if you can find $7.95 a month for someone to hold you accountable and help you, with your workout and goals, and you get like rice, beans, the everything that you're buying, the produce, depending if you buy it a lot of times in bulk and don't buy the boxed stuff, is very cheap. So I find like it's been the opposite. Like it's actually more, you're doing good by your health, and you're, helping your pockets too, without, meat is the expensive thing at the store, right? Like now that I think about it. And so what other message, I guess, would you say would be to help people that are trying to transition over? Like, how do you get started? Like, do you recommend getting rid of all your old stuff, old food, or just going to the store and buying a bunch of stuff? Like, how do you feel like that day when you're ready to start, you get?
Great question. I really kind of feel like it starts with education. It's and having a why. So we get to a point in our life where we want to transition from a standard American diet to a plant-based diet. And so how do you do that? Really, you have to educate yourself on what a plant-based diet consists of and how to thrive on a plant-based diet. But once you do that, then you can start either slowly transitioning from what you're currently eating to a plant-based diet, or you can go at your own pace. But once you get that education, you've done your research, Now it's time to implement it. Now it's time to come up with a plan. And now it's time to take it day by day, incorporating these changes of your food and experiment with it. There's a lot of recipes out there. There's a lot of different options. And so I encourage people to try different things in order to find what you enjoy. Because if you're doing something that you enjoy, it's something that you're probably going to do long term. Because if you enjoy it, it's going to be fun and easy to do. And then after you find something that you like to eat, start doing it on an everyday basis and don't waver from that. There's going to be days where you make mistakes and things aren't going to be perfect, but that next meal or that next day is that your opportunity to get right back on and continue with this lifestyle. I've been doing this now for a year, and there's days where I'm not perfect, but I don't let that dictate my success or my future. And my why is so strong that I won't allow that one mistake to dictate my health or my longevity within this lifestyle. So once you educate yourself and you start implementing it, I really recommend finding a support group of like-minded individuals who will support you on your worst days and then celebrate you on your best days to cheer you on so you can keep on going. I don't feel like we should do this lifestyle or life alone. So I think joining a great vegan group as you're making this transition is going to make it a lot more efficient for you. And so I would say just take it day by day. This lifestyle isn't a race, it's a marathon. And so every day we're putting our best foot forward in order to transform ourselves and better ourselves and make ourselves healthier and thrive. So that would be my advice for someone looking to transition.
Oh, that's awesome, because I think that's an excuse that a lot of us have used probably with things in the past. Like, you mess up one little thing, maybe you eat a cookie on, that someone handed you, and you're like, oh, I've ruined it. I'm going to go back to eating, I knew I couldn't do it, something like that. But that's, we have to just continue. It's basically what we do 90% of the time that matters in our, health. I mean, if we can do 100%, that is wonderful. And if you
Mhm.
do have that, falter, that doesn't mean you've ruined everything you've already put in. Just
Agreed.
like when I was eating standard American diet and I'd go on those, like, oh, I'm gonna eat salad, this week. Didn't really
Yep.
matter much. I wasn't losing weight by eating a salad for one dinner, right? But it
Right.
was all the other stuff. So it's kind of works the same way, you know. And I think that the message that you put out about educating, do you find that's one of the things when you, like, realized what meat, dairy and meat were actually creating? And what do you think is the issue with it? Do you feel like it's the saturated fat that causes the health issues like cholesterol and type 2 insulin resistance?
Like the saturated fats, I feel like it's all the processed foods out there. So, a lot of people are eating box meals this or preservative frozen meals this or foods that have a lot of cheese and saturated fats and all that stuff. A lot of that stuff combined will make your health poor. You'll have the diabetes issues, you'll have the cholesterol issues because you're eating a lot of foods that are high in saturated fats and cholesterols and all that stuff. So I think by eliminating that and adopting the plant-based lifestyle, you're going to see tremendous improvements with your health by eliminating the processed foods and the animal products altogether.
And when you feel better, you can be better, I think, for everybody else around you too, and even like you mentioned your focus and clarity. Do you feel like you, even in regular life, do you get more work done or more things around the house than before too, like your energy?
A lot more. I'm definitely more efficient. And I'm like, so I'm doing things now that I never would imagine I would have in my past life, right? So with the mental clarity I have now, I probably wouldn't even started this coaching or private group where I'm helping other people to level up their commitment to a healthy lifestyle. So I really think not only does this lifestyle help your health, but it helps your emotions and your mental clarity out so much.
That is true. And it's almost like when you found this thing that happened and gave you great success, you want to give back and tell everybody. And it's one of the things I think, that a lot of us do, because it's like, I can't keep this to myself. So the fact that you've not only just oh, I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to, that you're also helping people how to come on that journey, with the things, over time you've probably done a lot of things right. And then maybe some of the mistakes and struggles you can help them with too. And do you still find that you work out a lot? And how does that work? Do you feel like it's easier to exercise now than it was?
Yes, I work out now about 4 or 5 days a week. That consists of strength training and cardio. So I'm either jogging outside or I'm walking on a treadmill. One thing I noticed was a big improvement in recovery. When I was on a standard American diet, eating meat and everything else, I noticed I had a lot of muscle soreness after my days of training in the gym. But after adopting this plant-based lifestyle, my muscles aren't as sore. I'm recovering a lot better, and I actually feel a lot better when I'm out there running on the trail. I feel lighter. I just feel more energized in general.
Oh, I can imagine too. And how much weight did you say you lost? Like,
Yep. I've lost probably about 55 pounds as of today.
oh, nice. Congratulations on that.
Yeah.
No wonder. And also, that helps us feel lighter on our feet too, right? And I was like, that 55 pounds is a lot of weight, but it sounds like you did it in a healthy way and not like, I lost 20 pounds in 7 days, like some of these, diets. Yeah, you can go ahead and eat cabbage water for a week and do it. But how long are we really all going to eat that, right?
I
So
agree.
that is awesome. So you had the weight loss, and you mentioned you're off all the medications. Were you on medication for blood pressure or cholesterol too, or just it was high?
All three.
Oh wow.
Can't remember the name of prescriptions, but I know I was taking like metformin twice a day for the diabetes care and such, and I was taking a pill at night before bed, and then another one in the morning. I think that was probably for the cholesterol or something like that.
Wow. And I know I've heard you mention this on your videos too, that it's important if anybody's watching and you are on those medications that you have your doctor involved and monitor them, because you don't want to, like, if you're, we basically, I feel like, have found this magic, basically it's not a pill, but it's a magic diet that will naturally heal it. So if you have something you're taking to lower your sugar, I always tell people, and you start to lower it yourself, you don't want it to go too low. So your doctor has to definitely be
Mm-hmm.
involved in the process,
Yes.
not to waver you in a sense, because, unfortunately, it sounds like you had a great experience where they actually recommended that to you. So a lot of times medicine comes first, and then, the diet
Mm-hmm.
is a second thought. So I love that, you found that resolution to for diet. And it just still amazes me all these years later that things can heal just by what you eat, and we never realize it. It's like a second thought. We eat, and then we take a medication to fix the problem. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I was missing that link all of my life until I'm like, how did I take so long to realize it, right? But we can only do what we can do after we know. So I am really excited for your journey, and in this such short amount of time you've already started the Facebook group. And are you considering writing a book?
Yeah, I think I will eventually. I'm taking various steps right now. I'm diving deep into the coaching individuals and the private Facebook group, but I think down the road, I definitely will write a book and provide other products to other individuals to help them to get into this lifestyle efficiently and successfully.
Definitely. And the positivity that you put out is gonna definitely help. And I definitely appreciate you coming on here and like sharing your journey with us, because anyone who's listening, if you have those, same health issues, and you know that you can do it. It's only, like you said, one day at a time. And I love that message you gave with, don't think I'm going to do this for 30 days even. You just have to do it. Start out by replacing your breakfast with oatmeal and
Mhm.
berries, and see where that goes. Because I felt like once you start feeling good, do you find that helped keep you motivated?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, when you start to feel good, you start to look better, and you start to see the results of your health. Like when you go get your blood work done, that's all motivating and inspiring to make you want to keep going. Like nobody wants to just feel good and then say, okay, I feel good enough. I'm gonna go back to my old ways. It's really motivating and inspiring to feel that way. I think it will help most people take it to the next level and make it a lifestyle.
Yes, if you can just have that commitment, make that commitment, just get started. And this is a great time of year too to do
Mm.
that, like a new beginning, because a lot of people have those New Year's resolutions, and sometimes we don't have them last past February. But this one can keep going, and this one can really change your life. So, and is there I guess, like, when you talk about like your taste changing, like how long did that take you? About 3 months to like where you were really like enjoying the taste of foods? I know, like, for me it took a little bit just for me to get all that processed stuff cleared out. Or did you deal with any type of, I guess you would call, like, I'm not saying like withdrawal. What do they call that? Kind of detox symptoms?
A great question. And so I was eating a lot of things. Like when I was doing my research, I was looking at items that I kind of already enjoyed. And so when I did my research, I said, I want to eat this because I enjoy it. And because I enjoyed it, I really didn't have those kind of situations where I was like missing other food or having detox symptoms. It was enjoyable from the beginning because I educated myself on what I could eat and I chose foods that I liked. So it was honestly easy to eat the food I was eating, and my palate enjoyed it right away. It didn't really take time at all in order to adapt to that.
And it sounds like it's pretty simple, you know what I mean, to do too, because you don't have a whole lot of preparation, especially for us that aren't like gourmet chefs, right? You're just
Yes.
building it. Do you use dressing on your salad? I know that's usually a question I get a lot. Or do you like the taste without it?
So if I use dressing, I'll try to make a homemade dressing based on vegetables and stuff like that. Or sometimes I'll add a little hummus to it, or I'll sprinkle a little bit of lime or key lime on there. But I'll stay away from like store bought dressings just to
Mhm.
keep the fats down and keep it healthy as possible.
And do you take vitamins? Like, do you take B12 and D as well?
I do. I take B12, D3, men's multivitamin. I know some people, they don't believe in the supplementation, but I want to make sure that I'm not missing any of my nutritional needs or have any
Mhm.
gaps in my nutrition. And so I'm just trying to be strategic about what I'm eating and my supplementation, just to make sure that my health is going to be sustainable for a long time and I'm going to be healthy.
And I think Don, I guess that he comes on every couple of weeks with me. He made a great point on the last episode that, when we're eating processed foods, like when we're eating that sugary cereal, sometimes, even though
Mhm.
that part of it is not good for us, what we're getting though is we're getting that B and D12 because they're adding that in our processed foods while we're unhealthy. In one case, we're getting that. So I feel like when we switch to no salt, no sugar, no oil, no processed food, sometimes we're cutting out, nutrients. Because I used to feel like that too. Like, why, if I'm eating all these healthy foods, why would I need B12? But I didn't even realize it wasn't even like something that, it's a bacteria that we're actually, we either have to add it or get it from the soil and stuff. And I'm like, I've just learned so much that I think it's important to have someone that gives you that better safe than sorry approach too. Like you said, you want to have all your vegetables. I want to welcome Michelle here to the show here. Sorry, we were in all this great information. I missed your comment. Do you eat nuts and seeds? She wanted to know. She makes salad dressings with them, or avocado for a creamy dressing.
I do. So I eat Brazil nuts, sometimes eat almonds, walnuts, um, and cashews. But I'm very sparing with it because, those are high in fats and stuff and high in calories. So I keep it to about one serving, one handful, or maybe like 21 or 28 grams of that amount weighed. But yeah, I do enjoy them from time to time.
Okay, that's good. Like those are basically like a handful kind of
Mhm.
type thing when you eat them. And
Yes.
Do you mentioned smoothies like in the morning? Do you use any type of like protein powders or anything in that, or do you pretty much get everything from the food?
So I do supplement with protein powder. I use Orgain. It's organic plant-based protein powder. And
Oh,
so
cool.
I use about 2 scoops of that. It's around 21 grams of protein, zero sugars. And I find that helps me meet my protein needs and calorie needs throughout the day.
What so like let's say like morning you would have, did you mention you do like 5 different meals? Like do you do like a smoothie? Is that like your usually your first go-to?
So first meal is 2 cups of blueberries, 2 cups of strawberries. They're frozen, organic. And then I follow it with 2 scoops of the organic plant-based protein powder. And then my second meal is actually the same thing. So a lot of berries, a little bit of protein powder, and they're very satisfying and keep me filled throughout the morning.
That's really cool. I love doing fruit early in the day too. It's like
Mhm.
when I used to, I don't know how I ever used to do that on the standard American diet. I would be grabbing breakfast sandwiches on the way to work in the
Yes.
morning. Then I'd have like this big lunch where everybody ordered out. And I'm like, no wonder I was about to go to sleep by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right? And having like a foggy, like now I can stay focused and motivated but still fill up, so that is really cool. Thank you for that. And then of course you have your big salad that you mentioned to us for dinner with the beans.
Yes.
And do you find like that's the predominant part of your diet, like raw food? I know Michelle, who's here with us, her and her mom were doing naked November with nothing cooked this month, so
Nice. Yeah.
uh,
So I'd say primarily most of the things are raw. The only thing that's cooked would be the chickpea or lentil or the quinoa. But all the salad, the leafy greens, that's all raw. The fruits, all raw and such. So I would say my diet probably consists of maybe 80-20, 80% raw, 20% cooked.
that's I think that's a really a good balance for nutrients too. And then as far as like you think it's like mostly I guess people think carbs are bad, but fruits from what I understand, that's like, you're not on a low carb diet, obviously, right? Because we're
60% of my diet is carbohydrates right now.
I love that because I
Yeah.
don't like the craze that's out there. I feel like it's so scary that people are eliminating vegetables and fruits and high upping the
Protein.
meat. Yeah, like it's from what I've learned over the years, it's like, oh, I wish I could just tell the world or have them read what I read. So, but it's
Yeah.
all we can do is lead by example. And thank you for doing that. And she said that she uses a cup of chia or flax seeds in my smoothies. It usually makes 3 big mason jars. Oh, that sounds good. I just bought like a mix of chia, hemp, and flaxseed, so I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, I have the same thing in the cupboard. And when I was doing my smoothies originally, I put a blend of that or one serve in there just to make it more well-rounded and have more nutrition.
It's like you guys are making me want to go just get a smoothie right now. I'm just gonna leave the live stream and get it. I'm just kidding. They're making me hungry already. I don't even usually eat until like 2 o'clock, but I probably should. I know everyone says that, but I'll have. Do you drink any type of caffeine or tea or anything like that?
I do drink herbal teas. Like sometimes I won't eat till like 11 o'clock. And so in the morning, I'll drink like 32 ounces of like warm water with like key lime squeezed into it. And then between that time, when I wake up until like maybe 11, I'll drink some herbal teas, something that just is warm and makes me feel kind of satiated.
Mhm.
And then around 11, I'll start eating food, which will be like the smoothies and such. But so yeah, I do drink the herbal teas, but I don't drink like caffeinated beverages or soda pops or anything like that.
Oh, cool. What do your like friends and other family, other than your immediate family, say about this? Are they kind of jumping on board, or do they just kind of be like, "Oh, that's your thing"?
Well, actually, my mom and my sister are in my private group, and so my mom's
Oh,
been
good.
she's been vegan for over 40 years. No, sorry, vegetarian for over 40 years, and now she's leaning more toward the vegan lifestyle. And so they're both thriving very well, doing great at it. And then I've also had some friends jump into the group because I do fitness and nutrition challenges where for like 30 days. We have a certain criteria to work out a certain amount of time a day, drink a certain amount of water, comment in the group, and usually people are very successful when they join the challenges. They end up losing weight and level up their commitment to this lifestyle. But some friends are just like, you know, you don't eat meat, or how you get your protein, or whatever the case may be. But I mean, when they see me walking around, they know that I'm not protein deficient, you know.
Right. You're definitely a good model image for that. Like, yeah, I'm not protein deficient. I love that. I just heard that same thing from another friend here was messaging me.
Mm-hmm.
Someone was telling, her that she's not getting enough protein, but I obviously I think there's that's a common misconception, even that I had. The first thing we always think of when we think of not eating meat, it's so drilled into our head,
Yeah.
into our mind that we need meat for protein. And that's done probably on purpose, because we've all been taught that, especially the food guidelines. When we were young, they didn't know even what they, know now about meat. So I think finally, if I'm not mistaken, I think they changed that on the food pyramid. It actually says protein instead of meat serving, if
Hmm.
I'm not mistaken, on this last one. But I'll have to check into that. So that's a good move in the right direction. Everything I think that all of us are doing is helping push things in the direction. I see more plant-based products out there. Not
Yeah.
that they're always the healthiest, but at least it's more common, let's put it that way, than it used to be.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. Is there oh, hi Tessa, thank you for joining. Welcome. Thank you everybody for coming. We were just discussing, I was trying to have him make us all hungry here, telling us what he eats and what's in his protein shakes. um, all plants have protein. Michelle said, yes, all plants have protein, and that's how the animals eat them, and then people get them via, right, we're getting them secondhand, which I don't think I ever realized until I looked into all this and educating. Like, I never realized all the health benefits in the fruits and vegetables, like just eliminating the other stuff can help. But then when you put all that in, do you find that well, it's been a year, so would you find that you got sick less than this year than other years, or have has it been pretty much the same? Or
Great question. Yeah, I usually get sick a couple times a year with colds. I mean, I have two small kids, and they're often around other small kids who are sick too. But since I've adopted this lifestyle, I've only been sick once, and it was only for a couple of days. I had like a little runny nose or something like that, but it's I guess just a testament to what the plant-based diet does for like your immune system and your overall health. Because when I was on a standard American diet, I was getting sick often, whether it be colds or getting sick from people that work in the office. But no, with this lifestyle, I've noticed a huge difference in my health and not getting sick as much as I have been in the past on a standard American diet.
yeah, definitely same with that. I felt like in 5 years, in fact, I didn't think I was ever going to, and I did get a cold, lasted only one day, and that same cold would have probably lasted me. I used to have a cold kind of the whole winter, if you think,
Wow.
that little cough that just off and on. So I'm like,
Mhm.
this has really been a cool 5 years. Even like you said, when you go around people and kids, which we'll all be doing in the holidays, having that little boost, because like all the fruits and vegetables have those antioxidants, right? Do you attribute it to a lot of that type of?
I do. It's the vitamins, it's the antioxidants in a well-rounded plant-based diet. You know, your berries, that you're drinking with your protein smoothies. Those are definitely helping to keep you healthy and to prevent you from getting sick. So yeah, the nutrition is very important.
Yeah, and Tessa said she's been vegan since 21 but still gets sick. Yeah, it definitely can't. It doesn't make us, let's say, invincible, but I think
Mhm.
hopefully you haven't had too hard of a time getting over your sickness, because I definitely feel like it's helped me, to kind of boost my immune system. So hopefully it'll stay that way as I get to be an old lady over here. I'm getting ready to turn another year older in January, so um,
Awesome.
hopefully we'll we'll see, right? Hopefully this
Right.
keeps me young and healthy.
You're
Um,
doing a good job so far.
Thank you, Lawrence. You
Yeah.
have really been an inspiration to so many people. Can you tell us again just where we can find you? Hey, J&J Video Reacts. Thank you for joining. Everybody go check out her channel too. Thank you. She said, don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button so YouTube will share this with more people and hear Lawrence's story. um changing your mind and mindset and living yourself makes a huge difference. Yeah, definitely taking advantage. Like, it doesn't matter what everybody else is doing around you. You know,
Right.
a lot of us are coming up on the holidays, and look at Lawrence here. He's going to be in those same situations, and you're going to be holding to your own diet, I assume, through the
Yeah.
holidays. Is this a cheat time for you, or are you going to stay on the course?
I'm gonna stay the course. I'm gonna keep my standards high because really we can't rely on other people to make us accountable to the lifestyle that we choose to be a part of. So I'm gonna keep my standards high. I'm gonna eat what I usually eat. I'm gonna fellowship with my friends and family. That won't be an issue at all. But I'm definitely gonna be eating my plant-based foods and enjoying it and just enjoying the fellowship.
That is excellent. And your YouTube, do you do one like every single week, or is there a way we could know you? I know you said on Friday, right? You have a YouTube come out.
Yes. So my YouTube page is called Leaf Life with Lawrence, and so every Friday you can expect a question and answer video from individuals I get from my private Facebook group. They often ask me questions to get education on what they're going through, whether it's with fitness or nutrition. And so yeah, you can expect a video every Friday. And then in addition, I also post maybe one or two other videos in my YouTube a week, just for education and people who are looking to transition into a diet or learn more about fitness.
That is excellent. Thank you. And it's Leaf Life with Lawrence is the Facebook group. Leaf Life with Lawrence is the YouTube.
Well, the Facebook group is called Leaf Life Transformations,
Okay.
vegan and fitness accountability group. And the YouTube would be the Leaf Life with Lawrence.
Got it. Okay. And those links are in the description of this video, along with the bio that explains more of your journey, both mentally and physically, and all of the things you've healed. I'm really impressed with your journey, and just in 1 year, like all the stuff you've put out there to help other people, and how many people you probably, helped. And just keep going, keep doing what you're doing. I know you will, though. I see that the mindset, right? Like, J&J Video, Dawn said, that's the only way to lead by example to make others want to jump on board. And Michelle said, she meant loving yourself. Yes, I knew exactly what you meant. And Tessa said, I think she made a comment, keeping our standards high. Yeah, because no one else, like, you have your body that's it. Like, when I feel good, I feel good. So if I go off and do what everybody else is doing, even for one day, I know I'm going to feel terrible mentally. I'm just going to feel sick to my stomach, and it's just not even worth it. And I've never, I will admit, I'll have processed foods every now and then, and I may have cheated on some vegan cheesecake and things, but in 5 years, I've never went the other way with meat or dairy or anything like that. And that's just because it is mindset, like you said, like Michelle, I think, said it up down here too. Once you adopt a certain way of thinking, it's ingrained in there, where it's not like that's something you would waver on, I think. And I can see that you have that, same thing. Is there any like last minute things you want to say, like anything in closing, the message you want to put out there, well,
Yeah.
to the world, or all the world that might watch this video, which hopefully at some point it'll be a lot more.
I just want to say thank you again for having me on the show to share my testimony. I just want to tell everybody out there, just be consistent, remember your why, find a community, a group of people who are like-minded, who can basically walk this journey with you, because as I mentioned, it's not easy to do this in life alone. And I think there's more efficiency when you're doing it with like-minded people. Take it day by day and have some grace with yourself. as Jen mentioned, there's gonna be days where we mess up, and we want to beat ourselves up mentally, but don't let that one moment, that one day dictate your future and your longevity in this lifestyle. So I would just say be consistent, remember your why, and have fun on the process. If you're having fun and you're enjoying everything you're doing, it's going to make a big difference to the longevity in this lifestyle. And just want to say thank you again, Jen. I appreciate being on your show.
Thank you. As we all run to our blenders and get our fruit right after this, I think. Thank
Yes.
you, Lawrence, for the inspirational journey. I will see you. I'll be on your Facebook group because I need to start working out and I need to get myself accountable. And I think that's the best way to do it because I need to make sure I get my goals. When I get the eating thing right, it seems I falter on that one. So thank you so much for being here and for your inspiring journey, letting others know that they too, can be strong, can work out, can still eat, a whole food plant-based diet and enjoy food and live, a happy, productive social life, and I know your family's proud of you, and I'm sure even your friends that roll their eyes are gonna eventually say, you know what, he's on to something there. But thank you for everything. Everybody go in the description after this and join the Facebook group and check out his YouTube videos. They're really inspiring. And Michelle, thank you for joining. Dawn, thank you for being here. And Tessa, thank you. And Michelle, I know your mom's probably working. Tell Muriel we said hi. Tessa said, great interview. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for all your comments. Lawrence, thank you so much. Lawrence Richardson, Leaf Life with Lawrence, and the long Facebook name. I know.
Oh yes, the Facebook name is Leaf Life Transformations, Vegan and Fitness Accountability.
I love that because you got everything in there, and I love the accountability. All I can remember because I thought it was such a catchy name is Leaf Life. I was
Yeah,
excited for the thumbnail. I had to get those little leaves on there for you.
that's
I don't want to leave this interview. Okay. No bad jokes, I promise. Thank you so much. I
yes.
really appreciate all your time and your energy and your positive message.
More than welcome. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Have a great afternoon. Thank you for joining Amazing Transformations. And we will see you guys on the next live stream. Thank you.